All right, welcome to episode 9 of Talking Back Sunday.
Wow, 9.
9,
Wow.
feeling fine.
Hey.
Tuesday,
Wow,
September 15th.
Yes, yes.
Yes, it is.
Where did the year
Man,
go?
it's crazy. It's been nine weeks since we started doing this.
I
Yes.
know.
It's bonkers.
That is crazy. Time is moving in a very weird way.
Yeah, like
Continues to.
really fast but painfully slow all at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird how that works.
Man, crazy.
How's your guys' mornings been?
Oh, pretty good.
It's happening.
Got loaded up on coffee, was cranking Thin Lizzy before, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to
Good.
Thin Lizzy in a long time.
Dude, it's so good.
I had 2 5-shot mocha frappuccinos,
2.
So you're
Dude.
10 shots in.
Jesus.
10 shots.
Wow,
Wow.
man. Are you okay?
How can you
Yeah,
sit
fine.
still?
Yep.
Yeah, seriously, I would be
I
freaking
rode my
out.
bike. I rode my bike, and I was like, "This is good energy." You know what I mean? It's like a
Nice.
Oh, yeah, you got
a
all
workout.
ripped up on
Mhm.
espresso.
yeah. I was
Man,
riding.
crazy.
You've seen me. If you saw me, if you didn't know me, but you saw me ride by on the boardwalk the way I was riding, you would be like, "Oh my god, that guy's really cool. I want to be friends with him."
I might say, slow down, hotshot.
You know what I would have said? Hey, is that Lance Armstrong out there?
I
Yeah,
can't see
right?
that good. Went by in a flash. Live strong, buddy.
maybe if he just had your espresso regimen, he wouldn't have gotten in all that trouble.
I
Yeah.
know.
Steroids.
True.
He
So
should have
true.
known. He should have known.
Well, he should have called up his pal Marky.
You know, they didn't have Ripple milk then, so it didn't taste
They didn't
so
have
good.
Ripple milk, so he would have run into a problem.
What's Ripple milk?
It's
Is that
pea
made from like
protein.
avocados?
Pea
What?
protein.
E protein.
Pea milk.
Wait.
Sounds
from
like urine.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. It does
Wait.
sound like it.
From like peas, like
From
the
peas.
black eyed peas.
Yeah. It's good milk. I promise. I believe it is.
That's
It is.
crazy.
It's tasty. I enjoy it.
Mark, you're making me feel like a real wuss. I'm just sitting here with like a regular cup of iced coffee from my coffee maker, like an
Like a
idiot.
chump. Hey.
You're wasting. You're
Yeah.
wasting your time, John.
Yeah,
No,
I
it'd
have
take
the-
me
I
like-
have the same thing.
Ugh, man, what am I doing? It'd take me like 3 pots of this coffee to get to where you're at.
Yeah, like full pots. So what
Yeah.
Mark did in 2 cups,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna take you probably 15 cups.
Yeah.
You don't have time for that.
I
I
Nobody's got
bought
time for
a bunch of Yeti cups on Amazon. I got one really big white one.
I saw it
Mhm.
yesterday.
Yes, I brought it to Sean's car yesterday. Sean saw it in real life,
I really did.
Whoa, lucky.
and I put it in his cup holder. And I was
Go
telling
on.
him, like, this is my second one of these, Sean. Second,
like, wow.
I'm feeling it, baby.
Oh,
I was like,
man.
wow.
Do
You
you have
guys-
the?
Oh, so go ahead, Adam.
No, I was just gonna ask if you have the espresso machine at the house.
I do. Yeah, it's a nice one. Boom. I just put it out.
Nice. I might have to look into that. Andy has one too. He raves about it.
Yo, it's awesome. It's a life changer. You know, it's like
Okay,
one of
I
those
gotta-
life changing things.
I gotta look
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
Andy has that Nespresso one, and they have this program he was telling me about that because it uses like the pods, and
Yeah.
then you send your used pods back to Nespresso, and then they recycle them and they make stuff out of them. And like randomly, he got like a wallet, and it was made out of old coffee pods. He was
Huh.
telling me
Weird.
about.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then I thought, oh, I need to get in on that, and then I forgot about it. But now I remember.
Yeah,
Now's
get
the
one.
time. Wait, so what I was gonna say before though, Mark, is that when you got in Sean's car and he got to see your coffee cup, Was that on the way to speak at the event yesterday?
It was, which Sean did a very good job at.
I saw a video
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, man. I was
Yeah.
kind of there, just kind of like supporting. You know what I mean? Hanging out,
Uh-huh.
rubbing elbows, schmoozing.
Literally.
I'm kind of like the nerd with the facts, and Mark's the guy that everybody likes. So we need that. It's the yin and the yang.
It was fun.
Yeah, so we went and spoke at an event at the newly renovated Mulcahy's in Wantagh here on Long Island, New York. And Senator Chuck Schumer is sponsoring this bill. He's kind of taking charge and leading it. It's a bipartisan effort. The Save Our Stages Act and the Restart Act, which will get federal funding for small independent venues around the country. So it's music venues, it's Broadway theater houses, it's comedy clubs. So all these places they were the first to close up. They'll be the last to come back, and they provide a lot of vital revenue to the communities. This guy Moose, he's with the National Independent Venue Association. Said that for every dollar we would go, if we go to see a band we like play at a small independent venue, we'd spend $12 per dollar spent on the ticket would go to the local economy. So you go, you buy a slice of pizza, you take a taxi to the show. If say we would take public transportation there, you would go to different bars and restaurants and stuff. Like, we don't get out very often, Jamie and I, but we might go to a restaurant and spend money at that restaurant. We're tipping the bartender, tipping the wait staff. So all these are so important to local communities and helping them thrive. So I learned a lot yesterday hearing these other people speak too. But Chuck Schumer was really, really cool. He thinks it's going to get passed there because of the bipartisan effort. He's like, this is one of the things we can all kind of agree on, even though everything's so crazy right now. So And this is something I know about. Like, a lot of people on Twitter, John, I know you commented on your posts that people are saying, well, what about this? What about that? I don't know about these other things. I know about music venues and things like this because we've been doing it for 20 years. So that's why I felt like it was important to add our name to it. So everyone should go to saveourstages.com to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Thank you guys for doing that.
Yeah.
No, and thank you guys for trusting us to do it and speak and represent our band. It was a nerve-wracking thing. I was very nervous speaking, and I hope I represented us well.
You did.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Thank you. But fun times. It made me hopeful that people can come together on this meeting and come together on some other things.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Yeah, I was kind of bummed at some of the comments on Twitter. And I don't know if maybe it was just because Chuck Schumer got tagged that maybe it brought out people that were not like fans of the band or something and just saw Chuck Schumer doing something. Or I don't know. Like I was kind of surprised there was any negativity towards it.
There was or wasn't?
There was
a ton
on our Twitter post about it.
Just trolls.
No, I mean
some of it, but I think some of it was
some of them
legit.
Are bots.
Yeah.
There's like after I saw what you posted, I went. Normally I don't read comments on stuff like that, but I was just surprised at how awful people are being just across the board right now. And I don't know if social media is just ruining us as people, but it's some of the things people were saying, I just can't. It's really hard to wrap my head around just how it's any subject, even something like Save the Stages, which is something, especially for folks like us, that play music in venues for a living, but it's all our, a ton of our friends either work at these places or work for bands or are in bands. So it just makes sense to me to try to bring some attention to this, and because there's a lot of people hurting, but then so it's you try to do something good, and then people can still find a way to be really divided about it. And then half the time it's folks, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like everyone's losing their mind, and some people aren't handling it very well. They're just being really mean all the time.
All the time.
What I saw on my Twitter feed when I posted something about it is that there were so many people just reacting to the idea of something that wasn't exactly what they wanted. and these might be people that know something or are in a different field, but I saw a lot of very uninformed things saying, well, what about small businesses? It's like, well, this is going to support small business. This is exactly what this does. And you were just reacting to something immediately. That's why when we're asked about anything or we're asked for a comment on something, I go, well, give me a second. Let me read up on this. Let me get some information and let me process it with my thoughts. It might take me a day. I'm not going to respond to something immediately when I don't know what it means or what it is. It might sound good to me. It might sound bad to me. Let me figure out what this actually is. And I think no one is taking the time to do that. I think that's the world we're living in. Our nation seems to be rudderless. There's no leadership. And everyone is just, it's all emotional reactions in the moment. So I try to do that for myself, for my family, for our band, whatever. Just take a second and read up. You know, maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, but be informed about it.
I'd say I agree with you about being informed when you speak on a subject.
Yeah, it's that simple. But I think Twitter, that's the problem with Twitter. Everything is so in the moment that no one takes a second.
Well, but the thing too, see, like, I think there is that, but then also there's like a real gross amount of misinformation, and then not only that, but then there's like everyone, like, I get it, everybody has Google, but I feel like it's going to direct you to whatever is kind of already in line with whatever it's going to direct you to whatever is in line with things that you've previously searched. So if you're like it, and which a lot of times that I think it just sends people more towards opinion pieces rather than just this kind of neutral, hey, here's the facts, this is how it goes, you know? And but there's also kind of been this environment set up to where and I have an idea of how it happened, but like there's like facts, like people will say now, well, I don't feel that way. Like with things like science. I mean, like it'd be looking at a math problem, like 2 + 2, and you're like, oh yeah, that equals 4. And somebody else is like, no, it equals 26 because that's how I feel and that's what I believe. It's like, well, nah, man, it's just a fact. Like, and so anyways, like it's just getting so convoluted now, and I don't know why there's such, like, why everyone, like, I know it's kind of like a natural human instinct to want to be right all the time and to like, because it makes you feel good when you know things, but it's like, whatever happened to just people being like, you know what, I don't really know too much about that. And this goes back to Sean's point of people just being like, I don't really know too much about that, so unless I'm going to read up on it, then I'm just going to let these people do their thing, you know?
Yeah. Well,
I actually enjoy, I often, if any politic gets brought up and I don't agree with it, that's my immediate reaction to that person. Go, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I think you're in the minority there, though, unfortunately.
Who wants to be in that discussion where you're like,
where you don't know what
you started? It's like, I don't believe what you believe, and we know that already, so let's just keep it silent so we can get along better.
And I think
like I think that kind of goes more towards like this, like there used to be this kind of like courtesy that everyone just kind of had towards one another, but now it's just, no, I'm right, your team's wrong, eat shit. And then it's like, well, what? I'm not on a team, man. Like, I don't know why you're being like that. So anyways,
I think
Sean, what you're gonna say.
To add on to that, I think you'll see that if you have a disagreement with someone in person. I think there's a certain decorum that we just to keep things copacetic between us, but we've been locked inside so long, and everyone's tweeting and everyone's Facebooking and everyone's Instagramming and everyone's just yelling and they're voicing their opinion. Oh, I really got them here. But it's not a conversation. It's the weakest form of communication you can have. So that's why this podcast is important too, to communicate. You can see our feelings. We can see how we talk to each other. And so like, I can agree with my neighbor about something if we're having a conversation, but conversation moves on. We go on to the next topic. It's very simple, but we've been locked inside so long with this damn virus that a lot of that has gone out the window. But the more people get back out into their communities, the more we solve this horrible virus, the better things will get. I think there'll be some return to normalcy.
Hopefully, man.
So I think that's the beginning. And I think strong leadership everywhere would help us out.
Wonder what that's like.
Well said, Sean.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're becoming quite the spokesman.
You are.
I've been locked inside for 6 months. I've been sitting here staring at the walls thinking about garbage, you know? Got plenty of time with my thoughts. Drive you nuts. But yeah, now the kids are getting back to school. Life's getting back to normal a little bit, and things are feeling hopeful. And hopefully we can get in a room and start writing some songs, because that's what's important.
Yeah.
Have you guys thought about? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just said, yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Actually, we were talking about that yesterday, Sean. And what if we did in the beginning of October? We met up sometime in the beginning of October. I guess we probably shouldn't talk about it on here.
Yeah, because we don't know.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, we can talk about it off camera.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll come up with a plan when it's all safe.
Like on camera, but off camera.
Right.
Yes.
You know, sometimes
off the record.
When we're bullshitting like this, I forget that we're actually
that people are watching.
Record.
Man, we're doing like 1,000 people a week on this thing. It's big numbers.
Wow.
When are we gonna get those sponsorships?
I don't know.
Yeah, we got to call up Two Board.
Yeah, what happened to Two Board?
You have to call.
So we can all drink some beer at 11 in the morning.
Yeah. Why not? It's pandemic times.
You know, back to school shopping doesn't come cheap. You gotta keep the lights on.
You know what?
Is 1,000 views good, or were you joking?
Were you joking? I actually wasn't sure either.
Wait, what?
Sean, were you being sarcastic when you were saying, pointing to 1,000 views? Is that good, or is that sarcastic good?
I mean, I think it's a bit sarcastic good.
The
I think the people that are, I mean, you know, how many people do we play to a night? So, judging by that math, for a weekly thing that goes up every week, I think it's fine for what this is, and it's exactly what was intended with this idea, to keep in touch with the people that really, really care.
Yeah. Well, and I think if we get some special guest stars, we might be able to up those numbers.
We should get some stars. We should get some guests, some star guests.
Let's get Jay Leno. Stars. Can we get Jay Leno?
Sure.
Oh, there.
You know, Adam and I met Jay Leno once. We hung out with him for like at least 2-3 minutes.
He was great, right?
Yes.
Yeah, super nice.
Yeah.
He talked about his cars or something?
No, but he pulled up in a crazy car.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. It was something like so far from just like a 57 Chevy or something. It was something insane. And I was like, oh my God, look at that.
Yeah.
You remember what it was, Adam?
I don't remember what it was. I just remember thinking like, wow, I've never seen one of those in real life, only like in pictures.
Right.
Like a Model T.
But it was nuts.
Something bonkers, yeah.
I was thinking about putting in the future, putting a Tesla motor into my 49 Ford at some point.
That'd be crazy. Dude, the acceleration on that thing would be ridiculous. I don't know if the body would hold up. Yeah, because those engines, man, they're putting them in Porsches, and those things can go from like 0 to 100 in like a second. It's like you just touch the pedal, right?
Yeah, just out.
Wait, is that electric or is it a gas engine?
It's electric. That's like the most powerful engines ever.
Man,
exciting.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with combustion, so the thing just goes. It's like on off.
Wow.
Very interesting. Shall we move on to questions?
Yeah,
sure.
Okay, so John, this one's for you and I. Hi guys, for John and Sean, specifically live shows. There were quite a few songs you didn't write, so just wondering if and what you changed, put your own spin on for the live shows.
Good question.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah, I
good
thought it was
question.
fun.
For me, with all the songs that I didn't record, I started out just playing them the way they were recorded, or as best as I could get to. And then like anything that I changed on them, it was a very gradual thing that happened like over the course of years, and playing them over and over again. And a lot of it was pretty like natural to me. I just would start kind of I guess adding my own take on it, but really not doing it very consciously. It's just like at a certain point you played it so many times and you just kind of start to do it the way you would do it naturally. So it's a little hard for me to like pinpoint what I've done, but I know I did, put some minor changes of my own into those songs. I know one thing I started doing was at the end of Decade, I started doing like a kind of a bit of a guitar solo in like the bridge and like over the beginning of the outro that I don't think was there as far as I can remember, but I just there was some space for it, and I just started doing a little more and a little more, and then it kind of turned into its own part gradually, like after a year of kind of messing around with it.
Yeah, I think it was very similar with me. Matt Rubano was such a fantastic bass player that I wanted to make it sound good and do it as close to the record. And sometimes it's funny, I'll have changed things, but I'll walk into like a local bar or restaurant around where we're playing a show, and they'll have one of those songs on. It's like, oh yeah, I guess I did change this around. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
That the old way's better. I'm going to go back to that way. What the hell was I thinking? It was weird. But so sometimes there'll be little things that pop up like that. But yeah, very hard to pinpoint too.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like I wouldn't be aware of it till I heard the recorded version like 5 years later. Then you realize it.
Yeah, and we've been playing some of those songs for over 10 years now. So it's really hard, and we're not listening back to the old recordings and stuff, and as long as we're doing them well. So yeah, cool. All right, here's a good one. I think we could talk about greatest mez.
I saw that question.
Hey guys, I've been a fan since 2004 and I've lost count of the times I've been to your shows. All your tours have been great, whether it's an anniversary tour, a new album tour, or just a mix of everything. Would you ever consider a tour where you play only the deep cuts or songs that aren't typically in a tour rotation? I know that's not the most commercial tour idea, but I'm sure your longtime supporters would love to hear those tracks live. Thanks for staying in touch with these Talking Back Sunday episodes, Jenny.
Thanks,
First
Jenny.
thing that comes to mind when I hear that is that I think we should do something like that, just not an entire tour, maybe like 4 shows.
Yeah, like hit like New York, Chicago,
Right.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I think haven't we had this conversation before, and we would call it the greatest meh tour.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Like
We should do that.
We were also gonna release, instead of greatest hits, we were gonna release the greatest mess.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of.
And then I think we were gonna tour on it. We talked about that. We would release the greatest mess and then do a tour.
And try to breathe life into songs that only we like.
Yeah.
Please, people, we like playing this song because it's always such a bummer. For so many years, we played the song El Paso, and we would expect, when we wrote the song, from like the start of the first riff, we're like, people are going to go off. And then they didn't. It took 10 years for people to finally go off to that song at the last Starland Ballroom shows we've played at the end of 2019. That's how freaking long it took.
I think we're up to 32 people that like that song now.
Yeah. I think they were there at Starland. The crowd was 2,500 and 32 people were going off.
Yeah. So even with that, I mean, in 10 years to be able to go from 5 and then all the way to 32 people, I mean, that's quite big. The accomplishment for that song.
Yeah, it is. Man, in another 10 years, there'll be maybe 100 people who are into it.
Yeah, well, that might be shooting a little high. 64 maybe. We're at 32 now. Let's not
All right.
Get ahead of ourselves.
But yeah, man, it's been so long since we played shows. I think we'd be open to really doing anything that anybody wanted.
I think at some point we should do a greatest Mets, put it out, and do shows on it. I'm 100% in if you guys are.
I think I could see doing a tour if we did like smaller venues, made it, like more intimate shows, and it's specifically, for the people who, that percentage of people who want to hear those songs, which is probably, I don't know what that percentage is, but definitely small venue percentage.
Yeah.
Good times. Good question. Thank you, Jenny. Okay, here's one. We got our balls broken a little bit, but I like it. It's pretty funny. Said, is there a music video that you think back on and say, why did we agree to go that route? And why is it faith? I would love to hear the story on how that video came about and whose idea it was to have a video featuring a cat doing porn and 20-plus-year-old Guns N' Roses references serve as the reintroduction to your recently unified band. Knowing now that an obscure import beer had a hand in sponsoring has just made me more intrigued. All joking aside, love the band and the podcast and hope you guys make it back to Tampa once all this is over. Jake.
First off, I don't like your tone, Jake. I'm just going to go ahead and get that out of the way.
Get him.
That idea was that Chris's idea? Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then we just really liked his work directing. So when he pitched the idea, we're like, yeah, why not? Let's try it. What were the Guns N' Roses references? I don't get that.
The cat getting off the bus.
It's like the beginning of the Welcome to the Jungle video, right?
Oh.
See, to me, I think maybe it's just our age. That was not an obscure, outdated reference to me. I was like, oh yeah, of course, it's the Guns N' Roses. Everybody knows that. But
there's also porn stars in that video.
With the cat, right?
Yeah.
Really?
That was legit.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
were legit porn stars, yeah.
And we did get an invitation to go, but to save all our marriages or potential marriages, we did not go. There was a pact. We cannot go.
I don't remember that.
I do. I remember telling Chris, like, yo, man, we're not allowed to go.
Yeah, I wasn't even married yet, but I was like, dude, there's no good can come of this. Oh, let's ask them a bunch of questions about their work.
Yo, but just like that album, when that album came out, no one really gave a shit, but I love the album. And when that video came out, no one really gave a shit, but I still love that video. I love that video.
And we had a lot of fun filming it too. Yeah. We had so much fun, and I thought it was funny. And I think we were kind of at our wits' end. We had spent so much time in the studio and writing that record, and we were just like, yo, this is great.
Well, and like all of the live stuff we filmed at Barefoot.
Yep.
At Eric's place.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like when we saw that treatment, it's like if you're gonna come back with your first music video at like when we're reunited, like you can't do some run-of-the-mill video where it's like us like just playing live somewhere and I don't know, some story about a guy and a girl or something. Like you got to go for broke. You got to go all out. And that's what we did, for better or worse.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because
the cat also does cocaine in the video. I think the cat becomes a coke addict.
Yeah. Yeah, big downward,
cool.
big downward spiral for that cat.
You know what? I think that video is actually underappreciated.
I agree.
It is.
It's funny because before that, didn't we release the El Paso video? Which is
that's right. So maybe we did go with a more run-of-the-mill video when we first came back.
Well, like Steve directed it, yeah. Steve Padula from Thursday, it was at Maxwell's though. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a fun place.
I think that one was a little bit meant to be like a preview video, sort of like it was not a big budget, like kind of big single video, right? That was sort of like, hey, check it out, we've got something new coming out, kind of start hopefully getting people excited, which, as we discussed before, didn't really get people too excited.
But man,
Yeah.
I think that like looking back at that video too, the El Paso video, Steve did a great job capturing the energy of that song and it Taking Back Sunday show and the vibe and stuff. And people did go off to that song. We played it like 3 or 4 times that day, but they were going off, and I know that was their job too. But like we're like, we've really done it, and then none of the other show reactions were similar.
Well, the people that we had at that video shoot were the type of people that would like that song.
Yes,
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah, they were
People
the
that like
diehards and our
hard-
friends.
Yeah, a lot of hardcore kids, guys,
Yeah,
adults.
old guys like us.
Right.
Speak for yourself, Shawnee.
Ooh, somebody's got a birthday coming up.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I do.
You're almost my
sure
age, kid.
do. Oh man, feel it in my hips.
Wow. Yeah. What's it?
Yeah.
Your birthday's on the 20th, no?
22nd. Yeah. So
22nd.
next. What's today?
A week from today.
15th?
Yeah. So this time next week will be my birthday. My
We're gonna have a
quarantine
Zoom
birthday.
party for you. I'll wear a
Oh
hat.
boy. Did wait. So John, your birthday was before.
I got
your
mine
birthday
right before
was-
quarantine.
Yeah. So your birthday was when the government knew exactly what we needed to do but didn't do it, and
Right.
so before the quarantine.
Hey, no panicking.
then-
John, were you panicked at your birthday?
No,
Isn't
I
that
wasn't,
lovely?
and I'm thankful.
Beautiful.
I wouldn't want to have been panicking on my birthday, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that nothing was done at the time.
Yeah, because how else would we still be stuck in our houses now?
Yeah, I'm just
But-
glad my birthday wasn't ruined. That's what I care about.
That's the
your special day.
That's the
Mark,
important thing.
Mark, you had the quarantine birthday though, right?
I have a quarantine birthday.
What did you do? How'd it go?
It was exactly what I would want a birthday to be. It's kind of just like I didn't have to do anything.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, no, we can't do anything with anybody because of COVID. So we just order
Oh,
in
no.
whatever I want to eat. And I'm just going to eat until I sleep.
Nice. There's every year for my birthday, whenever most people ask, they're like, oh, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, I just want a full day to where no one gives me shit about anything. Just don't give me any shit. That'll be a great birthday.
That's a good birthday.
Okay, we can all agree we will not give you shit next week on the next podcast.
Thank you.
Band
Agreed.
packed. We'll praise you.
Well, I don't need that. I just need you to not give me any shit.
I know.
Yeah,
I
let's
Yeah.
Let's not go
what do you
nuts
want
here.
just give him
What
what
do
he
you want
asked
for your
for.
birthday? Just don't fuck with me. That's it.
Yeah, like nobody fucking yell at me or tell me I'm doing something wrong.
All right. Done and
But yeah.
done.
Sorry.
I did get myself a little early birthday present. It's like
What'd you
two
get?
little things. Well, they're not really nerdy. I mean, I think they're awesome. Well, so there's this pedal company called Earthquaker, and they have this pedal called the Pyramids, which is like, it does so much stuff. So it's probably gonna take me weeks to figure out everything I can do with it, but I'm really excited for that. And there's this other company called Old Blood Noise, and they make this thing called a signal blender. And basically what you could do is you could run pedals in parallel. So for instance, if you were going to run 2 delays, one delay, rather than sending one delay into another delay and mucking up the sound, it sends them parallel to one another. So the one delay doesn't affect the other. So you get kind of this, if it's a digital delay, like this pristine kind of, you could do a bunch of cool rhythmic stuff. Like the Edge
Nice.
from YouTube does that shit.
Cool.
So anyways, I also ordered
Interesting.
one of those. So I'm
And that'll be
pretty
fun to
excited
play with.
about that. Hell yeah. If I just have time to play with it. It has to be like late at night.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun
Sounds cool.
stuff.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
I should just woke up and no one else is home.
Okay. We'll go take care of your
You
kid.
should probably go get her.
Yeah, she's gonna start yelling.
Tell her we said hi.
I will.
Yeah,
Cool.
she's so cute and smiley. But yeah, we will do this again next week. We'll wear party hats, and it's going to be awesome.
Okay.
Can't wait.
All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in to episode 9 of Talking Back Sunday. Please keep sending those questions to takingbacksundaypod@gmail.com, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.